All right, everybody, we got a little change up from what we're normally doing. Liam and I are leaving church a little early, and we got a one-day road trip. We're going to check out some land, so I'll give you some details here. So here's the plan. Liam and I are heading up. You can see Liam is actually driving, so he's on co-pilot position today. So we are going to the eastern part of the state. Actually, one of our viewers reached out to me, and I'm not going to give details because I want to protect their privacy, but reached out to me and said, hey, Troy, we know there's a piece of land in the eastern part of the state of West Virginia, where we live, that we're thinking about buying. They live way far away, we'll just say that. They're not anywhere near us, many hours to get here. But they're looking at moving to West Virginia permanently and doing some rural living. So they're looking at a tract of land in the eastern part of the state, and asked if I would mind going up there and checking it out and just taking some pictures, kind of being their eyes on the ground of this land, since it's a raw piece of land. Not a lot of details from the realtor or anything like that. So we're going to check that out. Now, full disclosure, they are paying me for my time. She offered to pay me for my time to drive up here. So Liam and I are just doing a day trip. We're going up, going to check it out. So we're going to feature this. We're going to leave out some of the details, but we're going to include enough details that hopefully makes this video interesting. I know a lot of you all still looking for land. Land is one of our most popular topics on our channel, so we thought it'd be a good idea to address this and incorporate it. So we're going to share this property with you. The details of the property we'll keep out of the video for their sake. All right, I'm going to do this Justin Road style for a bit, because we are in the middle of nowhere. No, actually, we got a lot of people around us. So there's my truck. Here's the county road access. A little crazy. We were in a couple places where I thought I was going to tear the front end off my truck. So. Oh, good night. Tear the bottom of my truck off. If I'd had my Ford up here, it'd have really been a problem. Okay, so a little background. Why are we up here? Why are Liam and I up here trudging around through the woods? So at the request of one of our viewers, obviously we're up here looking at this, and I think, again, it all comes back to trust, and I appreciate these people trusting me, and I hope I earn their trust in doing this. But this was a smart move on their part, simply because they live so far away. To fly up here to check this out and it not be something they want, or not be something even close to what they want, then you wasted a lot of money, maybe $1,000 in air tickets alone, not to mention time off from work and stuff. So asking me to come up and just be their eyes. So what we're looking at here is a 2-acre lot that's right close to the National Forest. So we're going to look at some of the pros and the cons, and then we're going to talk about some of the issues here. So the first layout of the land, of course, it's undeveloped piece of land. There is an old structure on it that needs to come down. It is gutted. You can see it here, an old hunting A-frame. And we've looked at it, it's pretty shot. Looking at 2 acres, roughly 2 acres on the side of the mountain. So one of the pros is that if you climb the mountain, you can see the sun coming through the trees up there. The top of the mountain is National Forest. So your access to hundreds of thousands of acres of National Forest, you can just walk right up the mountain and bammo, there you are. Another benefit, of course, is a lot of Appalachian hardwoods. Now again, with 2 acres, not a lot of timberable in here, but there's some pretty stuff. It's a gorgeous white pine right here that's enormous. So there is some stuff that would be millable. So if you were coming up here and you're going to possess a sawmill and you're going to mill, then you got some material to work with. Again, 2 acres not enough to have a company come in and try to get some improvement money from that. But it is a beautiful hardwood forest. Well, obviously this cabin is a liability. Cabin has to come down. It's got some serious issues. It did have power on it. You can see a power drop there. So there is a power pole right here at my truck. So there wouldn't be an expense to bring power there other than just putting your power drop in, or your construction pole as you're building. There is no well on this. Not been able to find any septic. I think that cabin was either just taking care of business underneath, tossing it out, or whatever. So I've not found any indication of septic nor water. Now, what's interesting too, again, because this is against the National Forest, there's a residence there, a temporary residence. There's actually, this whole place has been zoned almost like a subdivision. You can see here's a building here, there's a building there. There's all kinds of houses or camps that we came up through. And I think a lot of these are secondary dwellings for people, camps. There may be some permanent residents here, but there's actually a decent amount of humanity here. Looks like they may have been doing a little bit of water collection, rain catchment here with a gutter. This ground is really soft. Again, a lot of erosion coming down the back of this. Oh yeah, here we go. So here's a camp shower. So you can see where they were coming behind here to take their shower. So serious water drainage issues. You know what would tell us? Another refrigerator. So again, using the power drop that they had. A little fireplace, it looks like, or at least a chimney for a wood burner. Let's see if we can stick our head in here without falling to the floor. Oh my goodness, that's soft. Hello. Spooky. Wood burner. I'm surprised somebody hadn't absconded with that. That's a nice little wood burner. Got a little loft. Got a hole or two in the cabin. Okay. So no bathroom. Obviously, there's a breaker box. My goodness, that floor is soft. I do not want to fall through this thing. Let's try to walk on the joists. So yeah, kitchen sink, most likely just dumping gray water on the ground. They may have been hitting the hill to relieve themselves. Critters have been tearing up the floor here pretty good. Dare we go to the loft? Yeah, so multiple bedroom. I mean, it's probably a decent A-frame at one time. Simple. Probably got the job done. But over time it has gone downhill. Still left the firewood. Close the door so we don't let all the air out. So here's an interesting point as well. The tax map shows an easement that comes up through here, and this is the piece of land that we're looking at, and this is the neighbor here. But the neighbor has put his well. He has drilled a well right in the easement. And you can see that easement goes right on past, goes on up the mountain, and you can see there's even a little turnout here to come up to the cabin past Liam there. And this little road goes on out and touches the county road again, or the right-of-way. But that's a big issue. that's tough to overcome. If somebody's got their well casing right there in the middle of the easement, then that doesn't allow you to access from this point. You're going to have to come up past my truck, up the mountain, and turn in this way. And this really is, and I say county road, it's not a county road. This has all been subdivided. So this is probably the responsibility of the property owners to share. So that's why that road is washed out, and I'll show that in a second. Another disadvantage, with buying 2 acres, you think that's pretty good size to do whatever you want. The individuals I'm helping out here are looking for a permanent residence. But this 2 acres is pretty steep. We're looking at a 60 to 75% incline, probably. And 90% of this 2 acres is all on that incline. Basically here at the face of the cabin, you can see this cutaway in the mountain whoever did this came in with a backhoe, probably cut all that out. It looks like they took the overburden and just piled it up right here. So this is really the flattest spot that you have. So if you're going to do any type of gardening or try to do any type of animals or livestock, you're really going to have a hard time on the side of the mountain. Here where Liam is, this is the road that, again, not a county road. This is the road that you'd have to access the property. You can see my truck there in the bushes. So if we were to come on up this road, then you would turn to go in here to get to the cabin. It's behind that treetop. So you can see, check by the scale of Liam there. Liam's almost 6 foot tall. You can see those trenches are pretty good. So the further up the mountain you go, there's only one other cabin up on top, and he's using another road to get to it. So this has pretty much been abandoned, or it would be the property owner's responsibility to take this on if they wanted to. Well, the views up here are really nice. And I know my camera's washing out here because of my big old head. Let me see if I can get out of there. But you can really see a lot of the beautiful Appalachian mountains from here. If you cleared out some of these pines, you could have a gorgeous view. But I don't know, when you look at thousands of dollars per acre as being asked for this, I don't know if it quite justifies the expense for what you get. So in doing kind of a post-mortem or a total assessment of this, I think I'm going to encourage these people to keep looking. There's a lot of land around in this area, beautiful part of the state, that may pay a little bit more per acre, but I think you're going to get a lot better options. And again, I appreciate them reaching out to me. I appreciate the trust. I love the fact that there's people that trust people anymore in the world. And again, I like to feel that I've done my job, done my part to come up here and assess this land and go over it. I've shot a separate video for this individual that I'll show them privately that goes through a lot of details. So I like to think I'm doing my due diligence, earning my part of the deal. And again, appreciate them trusting me to come do this. So if you're looking at homestead land, as we've talked about before, again, I know a lot of you guys are still looking for that forever piece. Consider doing some of these things. Obviously, I can't drive all over the country doing this. If you're looking in West Virginia, give me a shout. I'd be more than happy to help you if I can. I'm no property expert, but I can obviously be a set of eyes. But you need to take this into consideration. If you're going to just rely on realty pictures, you know, when you look at the realtor listing, the tax map, it doesn't show, even though it has the ability to show topography, it doesn't quite do it justice until you come up here and actually see how steep it is, see some of the issues, see the erosion in the road, see those issues where it's failed. So factor that in. If you're going to move long distances for land, you're going to have to take multiple trips. If you're going to settle on a piece of land, you're going to have to come check that out, or have somebody do it for you that you trust to give you an honest assessment there. I'd hate to see somebody buy something, even if they think you get a great deal on it, buy something that it doesn't end up being anything they can use. All right, well, take care, everybody.